With a shortage of green spaces in cities like Birmingham, the Wildlife Trust are hoping to encourage more children to get out into nature.
We know it's more and more difficult for children to experience the outdoors. For all sorts of reasons, children don't play outside on their own so much as they did 2 or 3 generations ago. Although there are plenty of parks and open spaces around, there is obviously still not the wide open spaces that you get in other parts of the country. All the evidence shows and all the research shows that people, and children in particular, are happier and healthier, they're less stressed if they do have access to the outdoors and to activities in the outdoors. And so what we're about is helping to provide places and activities, particularly here for children, where we have more than 10,000 a year coming through the gates and taking part in both formal and informal education and holiday play sessions and things like that.
The Trust ran a competition for schools to get in touch with their wild sides and get students engaged with the outdoors.
So we've had one school that took part in the Wildlife Trust's national campaign called 30 Days Wild. So they spent every day in June getting outside and getting wild with nature. They did things like bug hunts. We've heard that they've been planting wildflower meadows, they've been planting fruit trees, they've been doing all sorts of things, getting their families outside in the garden, going and visiting green spaces, which is absolutely wonderful. We had one girl who wrote a blog and told us that actually she was not a nature girl. She liked being indoors, she liked playing on her screens. She was made to get outside because of 30 Days Wild, and she's actually really enjoyed it and was really sad when it ended, and is going to carry on getting outside and being part of the natural environment, which is exactly why we do these things.
Wildlife Trust Vice President Nick Baker believes nature can provide an important education for children.
You get to learn about your own boundaries, you get to reflect on things, you get to be inspired, you get a bit of peace and quiet. You're in an unstructured playground effectively, where you can you can be who you want and you can do what you want. But it's also somewhere to go where the rules are fundamental rules about just being a human being. You haven't got parents or teachers telling you what to do. So being out in nature is really, really important. And what's really important about this People Postcode Lottery funded project is that it's reaching kids that wouldn't normally get the opportunity to find a place like this. So we are hopefully getting through to these kids, getting them out into nature and starting them on their own little personal journey. And then the great thing about this, and this project has touched hundreds, if not thousands of people, because apparently it's been more successful than anyone imagined, because these kids have gone away and then they've shared their stories with their colleagues or their peers, and their peers have then put together an argument to come here as well. So that's exactly how it works. These kids will be going home, telling their parents what a great time they had. It may be inspiring some of the parents to go, well, actually, maybe we should do this together as a family, and so on and so forth. And that's the great thing. This is how you plant a seed, and of course that seed grows into the lives of all these kids. And these kids really are the future as well. I mean, that's the biggest cliche in the world, but it's real, it's true, and all these kids are going to have a much better life for the lessons they learn in a green space like this.
Lindsay Smith for the Midland in Eco Park, Birmingham.